On today's show, we have Australian filmmaker Genevieve Bailey. She talks about her first documentary, which is called I Am 11. Along with her is Dagan, who is featured in the film. All of 20 years old now, Dagan studies at UC Davis. Genevieve traveled to 15 countries and interviewed 22 kids for her documentary. Here's a clip from the film and then an interview with Genevieve and Dagan.
I can show you the world.
I saw the film, but I didn't recognize he is the 11-year kid from the southern state of Georgia. Dagan, you haven't seen the film?
No, not yet. I plan to see it on Friday, though.
Dagan, I did not recognize you, like I said, because in the film you stood out because you were the only one who talked about your girlfriends and how your first girlfriend talked way too fast and you couldn't understand, and your response was just like the way my husband would respond. She's right. And then you found your second girlfriend who's very quiet and very mellow. What is your current girlfriend like?
To sum her up in one word, awesome. She's lovely. We've been together for 2 years almost now, and I don't know, it seems to continue.
Genevieve, why did you make this film on 11-year-old kids? You traveled to about 15 countries, I believe.
I decided to make this as my first feature-length documentary, and I wanted to make something positive, something that would make me happy, but also make audiences around the world happy. And so I thought back to my favorite age in life, and that was when I was 11. So I wanted to study this age, but on a global scale, not just in my home country of Australia.
Okay. How did you find Dagan?
When you see I'm 11, you see children from all over the world, and one of the first children that I met in the order of shooting the film was Dagan. So he actually is the first child I met, which you see on the big screen. And I was in the Czech Republic, in Prague, and a friend of mine was playing guitar, and two people came up and with their son, and they were talking to my friend about his guitar and about music. And I spied Dagan, and I thought, I reckon he's about 11, and he was. So his mum gave me permission to interview him. So I took him around the corner, and then I could still hear the guitar in the background. So I took him a little bit further around the corner, and I interviewed him. So Dagan and I really only had such a short period of time together. And then I went on to shoot for 6 years this film around the world. And sometimes I had several days or several weeks with the kids. So Dagan and I only had such a short period of time together, but he opened up and shared his views on the world. And I was really, really lucky and happy to meet him then. And then this morning in San Francisco, we meet again for the first time since he was 11 and he's now 20. So it's been 9 years since we've seen each other.
The person besides Dagan that stood out was the 11-year-old French kid, Remy. Tell us the backstory of how you found Remy, the philosopher, and who his parents are. What kind of a family did he grow up in? Because the way he spoke, it looked like he had parents who were philosophers.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions about Remy. People want to know, how did you find Remy and how has he been raised to be so compassionate? And I would say that Remy doesn't think there's anything particularly special or unique about him. Remy thinks that most kids are like him and have those ideas, but he really was a deep thinker when I met him when he was 11, and his sense of compassion was very strong. And he was living with his dad and his two sisters, and he just, cared so much about the common man and talked a lot about, refugees and seeking asylum and the environment. He lives in a solar-powered house, and he was talking about energy. And I mean, I would love Remy and Dagan to meet one day. I'm sure that they would have a lot to talk about. So it's been a joy to meet him. And audiences often say, is he really 11? He seems so much older. And people worry, like, is he having fun? Like, he seems so serious. But he's having fun. And I'm happy to say that, like all of the kids in the film who are no longer kids, they're young adults, Remy's doing really well. He's 18 now and he's studying medicine.